Good morning, all you Midwestern mages. My name is Broderick and I'd love to welcome you back to the Minnesota's Magic Podcast Show. Joining me today, I only got one co-host. The other one has abandoned us because he's probably sleeping in. I don't know, I'm jealous. But I got my main man, Battle Cruiser Big Daddy. You know him as Blake.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just a big ball of charisma over here. Would you say that Zach is oversleeping like a dog on the rug?
I'd say he's oversleeping like I
It,
was
it's
gonna.
it's a lyric to a Pierce the Veil song. It's okay.
Oh,
I'll be here all week.
I I have not listened to Pierce the Veil for a long time. I think the last time I listened to him was maybe a year ago when I was at the gym where it's like, I want heavy metal music.
I don't know if it's heavy metal, but
Hey now.
you told me think about it, so I did.
All right.
We're off the rails already.
You want
A
us off
minute
the
in.
rails. A new record. Insert Smash Man, a new record. But yeah, so Blake, what are we covering today? What's on
well,
the docket?
today our main topic is we are going to talk about some mechanics within Magic that we like and dislike, some of our favorites. Uh, but before we do that, I think we wanted to talk about some Magic the Gathering news that just happened. Um, so in Dominaria United, in the collector packs, they're going to be dropping some Legends cards uh into the pack. So everyone's gonna get one in a box, I think they said. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Something along those lines. They're gonna be putting they air quotes found a couple or pallets or something like that of Legends cards in an old abandoned warehouse.
Quote unquote found quotation marks Dr. Evil gif.
They are getting away with printing things off of the reserve list. Um, but I mean, it's gonna be cool. I think it's cool to find a way to get some Legends cards back in rotation since a lot of those are super expensive. Um, Is this going to make me want to buy another box? Or buy a box? Absolutely not, because
No.
you're going to end up getting some really crappy Legends card. Probably you're not going to hit that Tabernacle, tab. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not going to hit the I don't know, Angus Mackenzie or whatever else that was in Legends, Dakon Blackblade or
So here's a small list of this article I just found. So like some of the cards that are in there are Sylvan Library, Nether Void, Gwendolyn Diakotsiri, Land Tax, and Mana Drain. Which okay, yeah, some of those are like land Mana Drain, Sylvan Library. The heck is a Nether Void?
Another Void is an Enchant World, I think.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, I do love Enchant Worlds. Is that going to make me want to buy a box? No.
But there's like Tabernacle. It's like, oh, here's some of the cards: Tabernacle, Moat, OG Nicol Bolas. I think the Elder Dragons would be the creme de la creme. It's like they're the fucking Elder Dragons. But
I
like,
wouldn't say it's the creme de la creme, but that'd be a cool pull. That'd definitely be a cool
it's
pull.
that nostalgic OG big boss. It's that big dick energy card right there.
Yeah.
You show up, you hard cast an Elder Dragon like an OG. That that's some Chad aura right there. But like some of these cards, like moats, like non-flying creatures can't attack, and Tabernacle, which is hell on earth. The reason these things are just super expensive is they're old.
Yeah, they're
They're just
old. They're only
they're,
printed in what 1994 in a
yeah.
very limited print run. I mean, they're cool cards, and I mean, the idea behind this, the fact that they're not like gonna try and like sell them off somehow or stick them in secret layers or something, I think is cool. Like they're gonna put them in. I wish
Yeah,
they were
it's
putting them in like another, like I mean, I get why they're gonna put them in collector boosters. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
But
a huge lottery
at
card.
at the same time too, it's like, all right, we have a palette of legends. We're gonna crack all these packs, take a card, put it in a single sleeve pack, and throw it in collector's boosters.
They're laughing at the person who's gonna get the Kobold of Carekeep.
Or okay, hey, you leave my kobolds alone, all right?
I love kobolds, but
I
and I
put
love
them
the
in my
card. I
prosh
love the
deck.
art.
I
Well,
put them
of
in my
course you do.
prosh
But
but
like,
there's like
and the art is great. But I'm just saying, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy this whatever $400 box, $300 box. I don't know how much it's gonna be, but this expensive box to try and pull one of these sweet Legends cards, and you're like, all right, cool.
hey Blake, I think you need a Cathedral of Sarah. Do you know what this does?
I don't.
It's a land that says all white legends gain bands with other legends.
Oh yeah, I've seen that card. I do want that one.
Well, you might pick up some collector boosters. But there's like Cocoon, Dreadfall,
I think
uh,
Drop of Honey is in there too.
uh,
I could be wrong.
that seems like a Legends card. But yeah, there's like some big ones in here, and then there are just some uh, like
Cards you've
Mana
never heard
Drains.
of.
The OG Mana Drain, I like that art. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, I hate the old land tax art. I hate that fat man.
Oh, I
Get him
love the
out of
old
here.
line. I mean, I have the Chronicles version, so I have that the old art of it.
Yeah, but
Um,
like, these are old. They're old Magic cards, and
right.
a lot of them can be just broken in modern day. But 90% of these are just like there's a summon legend. Uh, I'm gonna butcher this name. It's Servirti Scasm, and
Okay.
it's 5 1 black 1 blue. That is a it's a 6/4.
Oh, is it the red? How much? What was it? The Rampage
It,
one?
no,
No.
it's 5 black blue 6/4. It's
All
legend.
right.
It's just a vanilla. Now is the
Nice.
art amazing? Yes. Yes, it is. I would put this on my wall, good sir. Um, do I think it's spectacular? No. Do I feel bad for whoever's going to get this 7-drop vanilla? Kinda, but at the same, that's the thing I like about Legends is you have all these weird and goofy commanders
Mm-hmm.
like that, like Savarthi, but it's just a
University.
Sarvarthi, but it's just a vanilla. So it's just like, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, I got this. Yeah, or what that Spirit Link. For every point of damage, target creature does gain 1 life. That's pretty. That's pseudo
Spirit
lifelink.
Link is great. It's great because it gets around, like it's on top of Lifelink. So like I have it in my Abzan Lifelink deck, or like Life Gain, Big Butt Life Gain deck.
Yeah.
And it's like you hit someone, you get your Lifelink, and then the Soul Link triggers, and then you get more life. And then if you have something that like drains, like a veto or something, it like gets to double up the triggers on veto, and it's that's a cool card.
Oh, they
Is
have
it
cards.
worth the
So they have this. They have cards that are not going to be included. The following cards will not be included. So, Barbary Apes, which is just a 2/2. It's just a bear.
yeah.
That's all it is. It's just a vanilla cleanse. Uh, Craw Giant, which
Oh,
is
what? They're not putting Craw Giant in there?
nope, no Craw
Oh,
Giant.
that's bull. That's
Darkness.
baloney. Well, they're not doing
Oh,
darkness because of the artist, I think.
oh man, my girl. They're not putting Gwendolyn in,
Okay.
which is like, hey, Gwendolyn's a pretty cool commander though.
He's
You
an
know,
interesting one.
I guess I'll just read her. She's so Gwendolyn de Curseur.
The
I know I'm
Corsi.
butchering Corsi. I'm butchering
Gwendolyn
these.
DeCourcy.
I apologize. I'm just reading them as it is and throwing a random accent on there. She is red, black, black, blue, legend, 3/5. Let's move this over here. Target player discards one card from his or her hand at random that the power. Wait. This power. Jeez, these old cards. This power may only be used once during your turn. So it's just, your player, tapper, random person discards random card. All right, but it's Grixis. You can work with that. You can build a whole thing around it.
Yeah. Or it's like I know they're not going to do like invoke prejudice because the art is banned.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, I misread this article. So this says, note, uh, or also note that the radical inappropriate cards that were printed in this time will not be included. Sylvan Library, Nether Void, Gwendolyn, Land Tax, and Mana Drain.
Oh, those are the
But
ones that aren't going to be in there
but this list is
because of
weird,
the
actually.
problem.
But this list is weird. So it's like, yeah, we got Nether Void, we have Gwendolyn, but like Mana Drain's on this list. Additionally, not all cards, original legends will be included due to some weird 1994 collection print runs. We simply did not specify the case. These include. Oh. So I'm sorry. All these cards like Adventurers, Guild House, uh, and Cocoon, these are not going to be included. So
Because they have problematic artists.
I am willing to bet like Mana Drain and Land Tax. So
Who's
yeah.
the artist?
OG Mana Drain artist.
Riveting stuff for a podcast.
I know, right?
That's fine.
Loading. No, this is the new Mana Drain art.
It was probably one of the ones that had like child porn or something.
Mark Tedden.
I don't know. That one doesn't sound familiar to me, but I also don't actively look for people who are bad.
Hey now, Mana Drain OG art is cool. This
Do
guy
you
did
think
the Ponder artwork, like the Ponder with the mermaids. He did the nipple artwork for Ponder. He did Time Vault.
Do you think that Zach's gonna try and get him so that way he can get the Legends Caracas, so that way he can put it in Amunatu and then play it, and every time he says it, he goes, "This is
Yeah.
just the planes."
Yeah. For those who don't know, our buddy Zach has a Caracas in his Amanatu deck, but it's just a plains.
Because Caracas is not legal in EDH.
No, it is
but
not.
but instead of switching it out for something else, he just keeps it and wants to say that this is just for this is just a planes.
Weird. He did like Karn art, like the Karn lands
Mm-hmm.
from Double Masters, like the Alice in Wonderland, or not the Wizard of Oz Karn lands, which I really like those. I really like that art. I would assume it has to do with like it's
Or
one of two things.
rights. It could be
Yeah,
rights too.
it could be like, hey, we don't own this art anymore after so long, and the artist, he still works for us, but he doesn't want us to do that. Or it's Magic being like, oh no, we don't know about the secondary market, being like, we know about the secondary market, and they're just like, we're not having to have this.
I think it has to do more with like contract or conflicts with
The
I don't know, like
artist.
with the artist or like the reserve list kind of stuff, like because they're
Yeah.
not reprinting it, but maybe there's something against like putting that art out there.
Yeah. Well, then I don't get why like Sylvan Live. I don't know, man.
I don't know, but you know what I want? I want a divine intervention, so that way we can end the game in a draw.
Is it on this list?
Six
Doesn't look
white,
like
white.
it.
6 white, white enchantment. Divine intervention enters the battlefield with 2 intervention counters. Beginning of your upkeep, remove an intervention counter. And then when you remove the last one, divine intervention, for the last counter from divine intervention, the game is a draw. That would be the most anticlimactic way of playing a game, and it would make me laugh.
Oh wow, Mana Drain. So the OG Legends Mana Drain was how much were you?
Not cheap.
So market price was $332. The Dominaria thing comes out and it and it just dives to like 100 to like $200.
Really? Is I can't imagine that the prices are gonna drop that much
No, no, no,
from.
no. This is like these are like people like putting out their moderately played, their heavy play. Like people are just getting rid of these now.
Mm,
But I can 100% imagine that like whenever they reprint these cards, like Mana Drain has three printings: Double Masters, Commander Legends, and Iconic Masters. Those are all about $40 to $50. But like the OG art still holds value. Like right now, the lowest like market price $330. Uh, and then like people are selling for as low as 150, but those are like heavily played. So I don't know.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's a cool story. It's a cool way to get them out into the market. Um,
yeah.
Not gonna make me want to buy a box, but
No, no, no,
it'll
no.
be cool to watch other people crack open this stuff and hopefully maybe lower some of the prices on some of the stuff that like doesn't need to be expensive. But
Yeah, no. Uh, this is more like I am just gonna buy singles if I really want. If I really want something off the Legends list, I'll just buy it. But
I think it's
I
cool
am
though. I think this is one time when I'm like, this is a really cool thing that's happening. Like
yeah,
I'm into it.
it is neat. But why don't we talk about some of the like some of the things they did show off,
Oh
like
yeah. Let me pull that up.
some of these new cards that are
The Dominaria one.
yeah.
Edit this out. Me looking it up. Dominaria.
So we have
Oh,
like
okay. I do have something that I saw that other people have been talking about is our boy Ajani is gonna be completed.
how does that make you feel?
Uh I don't know because I really like Ajani, but and a completed Ajani sounds sweet. Because I love Phyrexia and I love Ajani. So like I'm kinda actually like excited about it.
Your metal kitty.
Metal Kitty to go in with the swords in the
Yeah.
kitty deck. What do you think? I mean, I think that's.
So as the local Phyrexian,
I think we have like a competition here about like who's completed. Because I
I
think both of us love Phyrexia too much.
yeah. I mean, you have it tattooed on your body.
I do have it tattooed on my body.
I I I just love everything about like Phyrexia because I love body horror, and the mechanical body horror is just like give me more of that shit. Give me more of this Ridley Scott Alien Hive motif. But so as like a story standpoint, yeah, it makes so much sense. Where like a Johnny is one of these planeswalkers who's fighting against Phyrexia. He's one of their key generals. You take him out of the picture. You take his resources, put him with your own. All right, yeah, I like it. From a Magic the Gathering standpoint, I feel like they're taking like these fan favorite planeswalkers and just doing this to it's like that whole meme of your waifu is trash where a lot of people like Tamio. I liked Tamio. Um, a lot of people like a Johnny, and they're boom. And it's not like, oh, they're like I don't feel like they're gonna take like Jace or Chandra or Liliana and turn them into completed because
Right.
those are the poster child uh planeswalkers. But like a Johnny who's like on the one of the like the side main characters, like you got your
Sure.
Yeah, like he's there, but he's not. There's not entire sets based on this guy. Like I think we had Alara.
Yeah, he
That like
was.
that's where he's from. That was his block. But Jace is like in how many effing sets? Liliana's the focus of how many sets?
Yeah,
Chandra
but
and
I think people want Jace probably to get completed because
oh,
everyone's
I
sick of
think
Jace.
yeah, I think that would be cool. But I could see them doing like oh, I just thought of one. Not Teferi. They wouldn't. They're not gonna axe
No,
Teferi.
Teferi's too big of like he's like the baby face.
Yeah, I can see him doing it to Jaya. But if they're going with like two color commanders, like maybe well that was the thing. So remember those chibi arts
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say
Planeswalkers?
I think Kessler was talking about that. He thinks it's
Yeah.
gonna be all the chibi art ones, so like Ashiok
Yeah.
and Tamio's already completed. We figured out that Ajani's gonna be completed.
Yep. Angron. And then Sorin, which
Ooh,
those are all two colored planeswalkers too.
Soren would be interesting.
Sorin would be. I don't know how they would Angron. So like here's the thing about that. Two of those guys, Angron or not Angron.
Angrath, Angrath.
Angrath. I'm sorry, yeah, Angrath. No, Ashiok and Sorin, I feel like would be the two hardest to get out of there
Well, they
because
had that whole story with Ashiok where like that was the only thing that Elish Norn feared was
effing Ashiok.
Ashiok. So it's kind of like
It's that meme of the dude sitting in the desk where it's like, I don't fear many things, or not many things scare me, but that thing, I fear that. It's Ashiok.
I don't know. I'm
Maybe,
excited about this. I'm
yeah,
not a huge like I really love the lore. I know it's not like the greatest, but I do just love lore in general.
the lore.
I love lore of like all kind of games and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited to like see
Yeah,
what's gonna happen next and just like bringing back Phyrexians. I loved it. Dominaria was like kind of the first set that I came into that was like when I first started playing Magic. So like
yeah.
going back to Dominaria is really cool.
I
Um,
my only exposure to Dominaria have been arena drafts, and it was really fun to draft that. I enjoyed building a Tetsuo or an Umazawa deck with like five of those 1/1 birds that scry or whatever,
mhm.
and just making them unblockable. But I feel like this set's gonna be fun. I feel like this is a more grounded standard set with
For
yeah,
sure.
it's like the thing. I don't know. It just looks nice. But hey, let's go over some of the cards.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Um, we'll do these quick. I feel like so Shivan Devastator. I like it's an old twist on Shivan Dragon X. It's X and a red. He has flying haste. Uh, is it Shivan or Shevin?
Steven.
Okay. Shivan Devastator enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. This is a good card. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. He's a flying haste
Dragon
dragon
Hydra.
that you can just make big. Um, Jaya Fiery Negotiator. Uh, what do you think about this one?
Well, here the abilities are +1, create a
Well, she's a
1/1,
she's two and red for 4 loyalty.
two red for 4 loyalty. Jaya Planeswalker +1, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. That's decent. -1, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You may play this card this turn. More just red doing red card advantage. -2, choose a target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya Fiery Negotiator deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. Eh, that minus ability is kind of lame. Minus
It's her
8.
protection.
Yeah, I get it. So that way you can kind of swing out and not have to worry about crackback. But and then -8 ultimate is you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copies.
So, like Jaya's always in she's always imbalanced, embodied. There we go. The whole like the red part of like the storm player. she is that red storm player. She is going to be casting multiple spells, benefiting you. Like in most like commander storm decks I see, a lot of people run the Jaya that just gives you like 5 red.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
like her
fair
whole
enough.
like I think all of her abilities, except for that -2, work well together. You make a monk with prowess. You exile the top card of your deck. You can cast it. Hey, look, prowess triggers. Boom, boom, boom. And then the whole emblem thing works really well.
Yeah, I
Um,
think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
the thing about the -2 is I, I feel like all right, we need to have a planeswalker. We need to have Jaya. We're gonna include Jaya. We'll give her 4 abilities. Like they planned for 4. They had 3 bangers. It's like, what do we do for this fourth one? Well, all these are already synergistic and they're already pretty decent, but we can't give her like a broken ability. So let's just give her this generic. Hey, if you hit me, here's the thing: you if Jaya takes damage, she's still taking that damage. It's not negating the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no. Deals damage equal to
No, it's just killing off a creature. It's basically
yeah.
fireballing one creature.
You're 1 for 1ing though. She'll still like if you hit her for 4, that creature's gonna take 4, but she still got hit for 4 and she's gone. If I'm reading that right,
No,
but
it's whenever. No, you're not reading it. It's whenever you attack. So if I attack with 3 creatures, I get to do 3 damage to a target creature.
no, she says choose target creature an opponent controls.
Whenever you
Whenever
attack
you
this
attack.
turn,
Oh,
Jaya
okay,
deals
okay.
that much damage.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So if you pick like a 10-10, gotcha.
You have to swing with 10 creatures to do 10 damage to it. Yeah, it's whatever. Like I would honestly just do the -1. Like I don't think anyone's ever going to use that -2 unless there's like a super problematic thing on the board and you're already in a pretty good like board state.
Yeah.
Um
Um.
but I don't think it's going to make a huge impact in many other uh formats other than standard, but Strixhaven is it rotated out or is rotating out?
It's rotated out.
It's already out of there. I was gonna say if it
It,
was
it
with
it's
Strixhaven, it would
I
be.
believe it rotates in the fall, so they'll be
So
out.
maybe there's a little bit of or a little bit of time where you can use this in your like a is it blitz kind of deck.
No, I think when like Domin, I'm not sure, but
I don't know. You're the
uh,
standard player.
I know I've been out of the loop for standard for a while. I've just taken it back from Magic, playing the formats. But let's get on to I don't like this card, Temporal Firestorm. It's 3 red sorcery with this is I like this. It's an odd kicker. I'm gonna call them odd kickers because it's not in the same color. Where you can kicker for 1 in a white or 1 in a blue. You may pay an additional of either or to cast this spell.
Hmm.
Choose up to X creatures and or planeswalkers you control where X is the number of times a spell was kicked. Those permanents phase out. And then Temporal Firestorm deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. So it's it's a very expensive uh
Possible board wipe.
yeah, but and like the kick is that it deals 5 damage. So and like the art is just it's a story spotlight card depicting Jaya and Teferi,
Hmm.
but
Think it's a cool concept for a card. I wish it wasn't so
expensive.
expensive.
I
Like
feel
I feel like they could have done a board wipe where it's only doing 5 damage and like killing your own stuff for like 4 mana at least. Like
so and
one
like this
mana
is
less would have been
it's
good.
an it's an interesting card design space where it's like if you have a card that's like 3 red. So
Yeah.
the card is if it's you're just paying the 3 red, you're just dealing 5 damage to each creature and planeswalker.
Yeah.
That's pretty good in a standard format. I think it's like a bomb or a draft format. That's pretty good. But if this
Hmm.
thing was any cheaper, the additional this thing is just cash money because you're gaining so much for phasing stuff out. Like if this thing was like
Yeah, but you have to
even
pay
if it was
2 for each thing you want to phase out.
yeah, and I feel like this is supposed to be like a finishing card or something where you phase all your stuff out, blow up your opponent's board, and swing in.
I think here's my thing with it. I think it would have been great if it was instant speed.
Oh yeah, hundred
Same mana
percent.
cost and everything. Just make it instant speed, and that thing is that's a banger of a card. As
I
is, I think I would try it. I wish it was in like different colors than just Jeskai, but
Yeah, because you're looking at this from a commander standpoint too, where it's
I
like if you're
am.
running this
Yeah,
card, you have to be in Jeskai or above.
yeah. Oh, sorry, my
Um,
cat is getting in the mic. Okay.
um, but then let's talk about Evolve Sleeper. This 1 mana 1/1 dude, he got insomnia. Uh, Pay 1 black. He's black for a 1/1. Pay 1 black. Evolve Sleeper becomes a human cleric with base power and toughness 2/2. Pay 1 of the black. If Evolve Sleeper is a cleric, put a death touch counter on this creature and it becomes a Phyrexian human cleric with base power and toughness 3/3. 1 black. If Evolve Sleeper is a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So it's kind of a take on the level up mechanic, which it's just level up with a new coat of paint with extra benefits, I feel like. So basically you're paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 mana in total to evolve this guy. And the cool thing about this is you can do it at instant speed. So it's like, oh, he's already a 2/2. Go to block with him. Pay 1 of the black, make him a 3/3 with death touch. Cool. That's awesome. Uh I also just like the concept of this card is of a human becoming a Phyrexian. It's neat, it's cool. Not much to talk about this card. It's just a good card. I could see it being played in a lot of just a
Well,
multitude of decks.
here's what I'm thinking, and this is like kind of a jank way of thinking about it, but if you have like a um one of those like enchantments or artifacts that say like all creatures are all types, then
Oh yeah,
you
like
bypass the first two steps and you can just have it be a Phyrexian,
yep.
and then you can just start paying 3 mana to draw a card, put a counter on him, and lose a life.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like you if as long as you have the mana, you can just like this thing. That's the thing you always gotta look at these kind of cards where it's like where it's no tap ability and you can just dump mana in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it can just go off.
I'm thinking like a blue black kind of creature deck where it's like you have things that are like ninjas and rogues, like kind of like a tribal, like a Demir tribal
Mm,
kind of deck. I think that
yeah.
would be sweet. And I feel like there's going to be other things that care about Phyrexians coming
Oh,
out,
I hope so. Oh, I
so
hope.
that I think that like it's going to be there's going to be ways to like enchanted creatures like a Phyrexian or something along those lines.
Yeah,
I
Blake.
feel like, and so it's going to be sweet. I think this card is going to be really good, honestly.
Every day that goes by, my Phyrexian tribal deck gets better and better. All I need now is a 5 color Phyrexian commander that isn't Ramos, the Dragon Engine.
Or
Because
more fun.
oh yeah, yeah, but I want it
More
to be
fun's
all
like easy mode.
yeah. Morphon's easy mode. Ramos is at least from Phyrexia. He's a Dragon Agent from Phyrexia that Urza took and turned into Ramos. Um,
Yeah. All right,
but then
next
let
one. Oh, sorry. You have
no,
something
you
else to
got
say
him.
about?
I
Okay,
did. I did my Phyrexian boy.
you did your Phyrexian boy. All right. Next spoiler is Lana War Loam Speaker. It's a 1 and a green for a 1/3 elf druid. Tap to add a mana of any color, or tap to make target land become a 3/3 elemental with haste. It's still land. Activate only as a sorcery. Uh, It's
What do you,
fine. It's just another mana dork.
It's a mana dork with added value. He is neat. I will put him in the elf deck. Let's talk about this Jasmine Borel of the Seven. For 1 green white, you get a legendary human druid that has add green white. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no abilities. Creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. This is a legendary creature. You know what that means? Green white legendary vanillas. Let's go. If I
Yeah,
really They
go ahead.
missed out so much. You wanna know why? If they had made this, Obzon, you could put Yargle in this deck. You could have put the boy, Yargle.
Yeah.
Yargle's coming to Broad He's gonna
I
Fargle you up.
I
It's
think it's
Yargle.
I think this is kind of cool actually. Like they had that bear commander in Strixhaven that like cared about creatures without abilities. Um, I don't remember what it was called, but to like pump also, and so like to make a bunch. I think this would be cool. Like, it's cool. It's gonna be a token deck because you can just make like sapperlings or something, or elf warriors, or just a bunch of whatever token that doesn't have a keyword ability. I think that'll be cool, and then to make them all unblockable. But I'm thinking like finding actual like kind of grizzly bear type cards and not just making a bunch of tokens. I think would just be kind of funny.
Yeah. But it's a neat card. It feels itself. It's an interesting concept, and that's the thing about the legends from Dominaria is they always provide interesting build paths.
Yeah.
They're not like the Commander Legends cards. It's like, oh,
Here's your very
here's a
specific deck that is
yeah,
gonna.
it's kind of pigeonholing you, but it's interesting. It's not like we're making commanders simply for this draft commander set and you need legendary creatures. It's here's legends. We can kind of go a little out of the box and be a little fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us this fine gentleman.
All right, Tor Waki, wait,
Waku.
Wakey, Wakui,
Waki.
Waki,
Tor
Tor
Waki.
Waki the younger.
We apologize.
Yeah, it's morning. It's fucking morning. Anyway, that's for the mommies out there. Anyway, uh, 3 black red for a legendary human archer. It's a 3/3 with reach and lifelink. If another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, Tor Waku the Younger deals 2 damage to any target. So 3 damage, right? No, another source, I see. Okay. I I don't know. Seems like a cool kind of card. I feel like it's gonna be um to me it's gonna I almost feel like it's gonna be like a storm kind of commander. Like it could go with like that Prosper where you just kind of like storm off and then all of a sudden just like
Yeah.
grape shot someone for a
I
lot.
feel like yeah, you could build this as a commander, but I feel like he's gonna be way better in the 99.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that like all these archer commanders, legendary creatures, whatever they do, like do X deal damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is neat. I like how it still plays into that. Uh, but we got this fella right here, this suave motherfucker, this insert gay innuendo here that I like how this man looks. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh, Ramirez Di Pietro, pillager.
Very creative with that.
I stunned myself after actually saying the name right. All right, he is 2 blue and a black, 3/4 legendary creature, human pirate. When Ramirez Di Pietro, pillager, enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that exiled card for as long as it remains exiled.
uh,
So, this is an amazing card in both standard, commander, and other format. Maybe not modern. He may be just a little bit too slow.
well, it looks like he's from the commander deck, so
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, these last
it's
three
a different
people.
set symbol.
Yeah, you're right. These last three are from the commander precons, which I guess I'm getting black blue. But so pirate tribals, they've slowly been surely building up, kind of doing this whole steal thing.
Yeah.
Um, but the fact that this man comes down, you pay 2 life, get 2 treasure, I like that. So he's essentially just a blue and a black at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he can trigger himself whenever he attacks, and that card just gets exiled, and you just get it. So if he's gone, it doesn't matter. It's still there. That's fantastic. I love that. I love that he's an engine in himself where and you can still like blue has some ways of blinking, but I feel like this is going to be a popular commander as well.
So yeah, I
Uh,
think he's gonna be sweet. I also
and then I
it
guess
would
we'll
be.
just
Oh, sorry.
like
I'm just gonna say it would be pretty sweet if you pulled the original Ramirez Di Pietro from the Commander Legends, or not Commander Legends, but
uh
from the Legends
yeah,
block, and then you
this
could
is
have,
my great so and so grandmother or
and then
whatever.
you no, it's him.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh, and he's
Ramirez Di
no.
Pietro. He was from Legends, and then
Oh, that's
they had
right.
the
No, who the
Ghost
hell would
of
that be?
Ramirez Di Pietro in Commander
That's what I'm thinking
Legends,
of. Yeah.
and then now they have Ramirez Di Pietro Pillager. So you could have all three Ramirez Di Pietros in the
Behold.
deck.
So you have this is some anime stuff. You have him in the future. You have him in the past with his stand.
And then him dead.
No, the dead part is his stand.
Oh, okay. I got you. I don't know what that means, but
So hold on. Like I always thought Ramirez was like as you look at the old art, I always thought it was a chick.
I mean, we can't assume his gender, his or her gender, but
That's true. But in this,
I don't know. It's a luscious, long-haired, beautiful man.
he's they've definitely gotten that good looking. I'll tell you what, Bobby.
All right. Well, I mean,
Well, yeah, because like in
I
the
think it's a
old
cool
art,
card. I think he's going to
yeah,
be a cool commander. These commander decks seem. I mean, I'm curious to see what they have in them
yeah.
because
It was just like in
if they
the
have
old
some
art,
different,
he doesn't have a beard.
doesn't. I don't
No,
know.
he doesn't. It's just an eye
Oh,
patch. That's why I always assumed it was a girl playing a pirate. Because there's always
well,
that
you shouldn't
stereotype.
assume. All right. I mean, enough about that. It seems like a cool card. Those are
Yeah,
just
and
the quick previews. What do you think
what
of
do you,
the full art lands, real
they're
quick?
neat. They're all
They're
right.
neat. Yeah, they're like stained glass,
I'm
pretty lands, and
I'm getting that whole desensitized thing to different lands now. They're not all that special.
if everything's special, nothing's special. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
oh,
like the Kamigawa are still the best ones that
yeah,
have come
yeah.
out.
I'm still hyped on that Kamigawa lands.
All right,
All right,
that
let's
was a lot longer of a quick news
yeah.
news update. So we'll get
I
into the main show topic, which we can probably blast through these a little bit.
oh yeah. This is let's just get into it. Our favorite mechanics, keywords, that kind of thing. Abilities on cards. Uh, I guess I'll go with mine first. One of my
Sure.
favorites. I love Convoke. I love the idea of Impervious Great Maw, I guess is the best way to describe this. Get this big 16/16 mother hunker worm dude. And Convoke's just one of those things where it's like if you're in a token deck, I try to put as many of these Convoke cards in there because if I'm not attacking with my tokens, I might as well be putting bigger things out to use those tokens with. I just like the idea of channeling cards into something bigger. You're summoning your creatures are banding together to summoning something. It's just
Hmm.
a neat and cool thing, and I think it emphasizes green and green white.
Yeah. Yeah, Convoke is pretty sweet, being able to cheat out some of those big things or pump into what is that one that the X spell that has Convoke. I don't remember what it is, but Court of Calling, I think, is the
Yeah, Court of
Convoke one.
Calling.
So you can just like use a bunch of your guys. It's almost like doing a ceremony kind of thing of like banding together and summoning, yeah, like you said, like a big giant creature, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um we'll move on to my first one. And my first mechanic that is my favorite is Death Touch. Um,
Really?
yes, I think it's one of those mechanics where it doesn't, you're like, oh, cool, that creature has Death Touch, but then when you're playing it in a game, all of a sudden it's such a huge difference maker. Like, your little 1/1 with Death Touch is going to keep away like
All
big,
right.
huge attackers
You leave
or
my snakes out of this, all right? What have they ever done to you?
I'm not calling out your snakes. I'm just saying like it's just it's such an underrated type of mechanic where it's in my opinion where it's just like you have this little, 1-3 kind of blocker or something like that, and it just kind of it's a good protection piece, and it's
It's a good
also
deterrent.
it's a good deterrent, and I also think it's super strong if you were to put something like a Viridian Longbow to make it tap and do a point of damage, and then
Hmm.
you can just start pinging things off. Like that's one of the techs that I put into my modern deck. So like I play Hammer Time, but I added a Viridian Longbow with Basilisk Collar. And so then I can like start taking out creatures. Like someone drops their big Murktide that they delved out, and then I'm just like, actually, I'm just gonna ping it for one and kill it. Like it does some like absolute work. Um, it's a workhorse of a mechanic, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just like, oh, it's been around for so long that you just don't think about it. And the fact that I have a Death Touch deck, or it's just like, oh, I never thought of it like that. And like the reason I built the deck was two reasons. One, Hapatra's cheap. And two, I have a bulwark of spikes. You can crash into this bulwark, you're not gonna live. And
Yeah.
I can also throw this bulwark too. Oh, I'll throw that. I'll throw this ball of snakes. Um,
Just also, I mean, sorry, just one more point. Like when I first started, uh, dealing with like a basilisk, like n- it was such a difference maker because it's like when you first start playing, like all you do is look at like power and toughness, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And so you play like your giant 10-10, and then someone has their 1-1 snake, and you're like, oh my god, I can't get past that. Like my huge, I this Emrakul is nothing because all it does is die to a 1-1 with death touch.
Emrakul stares down at one snaky boy, sweats heavily.
But
What are you gonna
anyway,
do? Fight me? Huh? Bring it, bitch! I will bite you and you will die. I will take you with me.
for sure.
All right,
All right.
I'm going to the next one. Let's talk
Are
about
we are you doing least favorite now, or are we doing all
no,
favorites?
what I don't like. Go
All
with
right.
mutate. I hate mutate.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people are like, "Oh, but Brody mutate's so fun. Oh, it's so many interesting build paths. Oh, so many interesting things." Yeah, I get that. It's cool. I hate it because that whole block, not block, set of mutate, and to this day, so many questions, and so I feel like mutate, like a lot of the things I don't like, I feel like we're rushed out to complete a set or and just get that out there. Mutate, I feel like it's a nice mechanic. It's enjoyable. I've never liked it. It needs to be fleshed out more, and it's just text overload every time. And every time I
Yeah.
see somebody use it, they use it wrong. I don't think I've ever seen even like people who's like, "Oh, here's my Otrimi mutate deck." Even in that deck, they screw it up somehow every time.
Yeah, I think it's a cool-ish mechanic, but I agree that like it's way more complex than it needs to be, and it does need some more help because it's like you're just gonna keep it. It's one of those things where it's like why a value train kind of thing where it just keeps adding up, and it's like it's annoying to play against if you can't do anything about it because it's like it just keeps happening. Like the other I don't one of the kids that we played with had like a Jeskai I forget what the Vadrock or whatever that like you mutate and get to just recast things from your graveyard, and it was just like this never ending train of just mutate and cast and then mutate and then cast. Like I feel like it's a pretty, I don't know, it's fine. It's nothing that like in my I get what you're saying. It's like it's overly complex for no reason.
Yeah. You want to go to yours?
Yeah, my one of my least favorites, and this is definitely gonna probably
Draw some hate.
draw some hate,
Hey
and
man, we're not here
that's
to make friends, all right?
and
I
that is
made your name He's a Cat Man in Discord and I'm God, all right?
uh, is Landfall, and specifically what I
Oh,
dis
Blake, how could you not like Landfall? It's such a great mechanic.
it,
It has so many good cool synergies and stuff and triggers. Oh man!
that's exactly why I hate it. It's the easy mode of Magic where it's just like I'm gonna play a land. I'm gonna do this thing in Magic that I want to do every turn, no matter what. And because I did that one thing, all of my stuff is gonna trigger, and it's gonna be super oppressive. And I also have my Lotus Cobra out, and my Omnath, and my Rampaging Baloth, and I'm gonna sit here and take a 20-minute turn and just build all this value, and it's gonna be real annoying.
I feel
Like,
like me and Billy have traumatized you through Tatiova and Omnath.
oh my god, it's such a boring mechanic. I had my Tatiova deck. I had a Landfall Yarok, the Desecrated deck. And I did it, and I didn't even like playing it, like let alone playing against it. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be trigger, 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 because no one ever just does one landfall thing. Like it's
Behold, my Root Goldberg machine
yeah,
landfall deck. You're
it's like
what? Don't worry about it.
one land's gonna hit, and I'm gonna get 1,000 triggers. That's why when I built uh Lord Windgrace, I there's only two technically landfall things in there. There's a Field of the Dead, which doesn't necessarily have the keyword, but it says when you land enters, you get a zombie. Easy, I can make a zombie. And the other one is the proliferate one, like Evolution Sage or something like that, where it's
Mm.
just like a land enters and I get to proliferate just because it makes sense. But other than that, like I put no other landfall because I was like, I don't want this to be like every other deck. And I feel like when Zendikar Rising came out, it was just like every other game that I played was against a landfall deck, and it was everyone playing Omnath and all the other
Oh,
Omnaths
it
within
was
the
just all.
Omnath,
It
and it's
was
just
literally that like that period of time for Commander was just landfall, 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 landfall. Oh, and it's just like,
and
all
like
right,
I get Lotus Cobra is like really good card, but it's like, all right, so I'm gonna play this island. I'm gonna add a let's say, and I'm looking at their
blue
hand, and
Scoot
like
Swarm trigger, make 80 Scoot
I'm,
Swarms, and then
I'm gonna
Omnath
add
will
a
trigger
green,
Omnath
and
trigger. Yeah, it
and
was
it's like, it,
Simulus overload. Yeah,
it was just like, and like then they missed a trigger or they whatever, and it's like I don't I
you don't care.
but I don't care. Just I don't like
Yeah.
it. It's just easy mode, and it's boring, and it's takes forever to resolve. Goodbye, Landfall.
All right, I guess I'm gonna go into my the one I like next. Parlay. Uh,
Parlay.
yes. So I still have this deck. It's my Selvala, the green white one. I can't remember which Explorer this one. Explorer Return, I believe. But
Sure.
yeah, Parlay's a neat mechanic to where we should probably just read off what Parlay is, right? So for people who don't know, so Parlay basically says each opponent parlay. Each player reveals the top card of his or her library, and based on what the effect, like what you reveal, you get a certain effect. Now, each parlay is like different. Like so, Savala, Explore, Return. Each player reveals the top card of their deck, and for each creature. Oh wait,
Each land you get a mana in
yep,
your
and I
mana
gain a
pool, and
life.
each non-land you gain life.
Yes, but the thing about this deck, like the thing about parlay, is if you want to kind of go group huggy but aggressive, I feel like this card is perfect for you because you are spinning your wheels, you're building value, but at the same time, people are like drawing cards. You're adding cards to your hand, so it's not that bad. Little do people know, I'm going to untap Selvala 80 times and give you the
Right?
whole point of my Selvala deck.
It's a
As I have,
combo.
yes, is basically trying to get into my combo to basically make people, because what do people like? Oh, we love drawing cards. Well, then draw all the cards in the world until you die. Except I have ways of putting cards back in my deck.
Yeah, yeah. I think Selvala and Parlay is cool. Like specifically Selvala, I've seen people do some really fun things with that creature. But Parlay is cool because I like having cards in my hand, and I'll take the free value.
I know you do. People are like, "Oh, this deck's amazing." All right, Brody, you need to stop. Brody, Brody.
It's like that TikTok. It's like that's enough slices. All right. My next favorite mechanic is I'm gonna go with horsemanship. I
It's
know.
just
So
pure
horsemanship
magic.
is better flying. So horsemanship says that creatures without horsemanship can't block creatures with horsemanship. And I think it's great because not a lot of people are going to play horsemanship cards, and so you're basically having a blockable creature.
Yeah.
And I am all about combat and old Portal 3 Kingdoms mechanic that makes my guy unblockable, my infector unblockable, just makes me happy. Not much else to say about it other than it's underrated. Or it's perfectly rated. I don't know what people think of horsemanship,
All right.
but it's a good card. It's a good mechanic.
I, yeah. So I'm getting out of my mechanic is the next one I don't like, which so I'm a huge D&D nerd. Love me my dice rolling, but dice rolling in Magic. So me coming D&D, getting the Magic. All right, cool. Then people who are just like purely Magic, they play Magic the Gathering, and then dice rolling comes in, and so people will just like Baldur's Gate and AFR.
Hmm.
They're all right, but AFR and Standard, I saw so many people just getting upset, not liking this, and then I didn't like it too because I don't want to have the Magic's kind of a controlled environment, right? You can
Hmm.
manipulate your deck to draw what you want, thin it out, stuff like that. Adding this huge random component to that we've only seen in unsets, I don't like. To where your card goes from basically the best card ever to borderline, no, not borderline, to straight unplayable garbage. To where the effect is like, I pay 8 mana for this thing, roll a dice, I got a 1 through 10. I could have paid 2 mana for this effect. I I don't like this random component added to the controlled environment. In an unset, perfect, fine. It's goofy, wacky. All right, I get that. In this set, no. And like dice rolling is just the mechanic where play a card, ETB, roll a dice, or some creatures have tap roll dice.
Yeah, some of
I
them, like the ones in AFR, are like roll a d20 and then whatever, or like the new Baldur's Gate dragons, where it's like they deal damage, roll a d20, and whatever you get
When
something
this
of that.
dragon attack connects, roll a d20, make that many treasures.
Yeah, it's like that's broken in my opinion. um, but yeah, the dice rolling, it's just kind of it's the variance is too high and the cost is too high for what what the low, like you're kind of what you're saying, like the low end is so low that like even the high end doesn't make up for it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should get into some good stuff. Go ahead, Blake.
Oh wait, wasn't that was supposed to be a good one, wasn't it?
Dice rolling's a bad one.
Yeah, but I said horsemanship, which was a good one.
Oh.
I don't know. Am I on a bad one? I don't know where we're at.
Yeah,
I'm
you're on
gonna
a
go with
bad
a bad
one.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're on a bad one. There we
Uh,
go.
all right. I'm gonna go with morph as one that I don't like. And the reason I don't like morph is because secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
Oh, but Blake, Morph is such an interesting and neat mechanic.
It is neat and but it's
I hope
like
I hope you realize I'm gonna do this for all your keywords.
that's fine. It's just I don't know. I feel like whenever you play against like a Kadena Slinking Sorcerer deck or something like that in Commander. I mean, I don't know about other formats how much morph they play, but anyway, in Commander, it's like constantly. It's like every time you cast a spell, then it's like, okay, hold on, and everyone looks at the card. Because they can't remember which card is which, so they have to look and see if they can do anything, and look at the card and then put it back down, and they just have to keep constantly pulling up their card to look at it, and it's like most of the mechanics I don't like is because they take way too much time, and it's just like it's tricksy, it's interesting in that way, but it's like okay, you're gonna flip it up and you're gonna counter my spell or you're gonna take my thing. Like I don't think there's enough like interesting morph mechanics that I don't know. It seems boring. It seems annoying to me, and it's just like the constant looking and having to look at what they have and blah blah blah, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, you're muted.
I'm not muted. You're muted. All right. Yeah. Morph's interesting. It's like, hey, let's try and have cards with uh, like quote unquote broken abilities for the time, but let's add an extra cost to them, and they have this chance of being blown up.
The turn face up mechanics usually aren't good enough though.
They're
The
trying.
only
It's trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic. Let's have trap cards.
Yeah, exactly. The only cool thing that you can do with morph is if you play it face down and then you blink it, you can get the card. That's the only thing that's cool
Yeah.
in what I think.
All right. So then,
Your next
what
good
I
one.
like. Yeah. Uh, I I guess I'm just gonna combine. They're so similar and they work together. They were designed for the same thing. They're from the same set. It's Delve and Dredge. I Most of my decks I have are graveyard decks, reanimator stuff like that, milling. I I don't know. There's just something about basically banishing your entire deck to the Shadow Realm to gain advantages. You're milling yourself out. You're dredging stuff away, and then I'm going to delve to draw more cards. I don't know. It's just something about exiling stuff. Like Tesker is one of my favorite decks. Yeah, it's a spinning wheels deck with a stupid, absurd combo that probably takes about 18 mana to actually fully play out, which is that big ram spell that gets 10 lands out of your deck. You get all your basic lands. You play Hermit Druid, you tap Hermit Druid, you get rid of your entire deck, you slam down a Thassa's Oracle, boom, you win the game. But I don't know, it's just interesting. I think Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time are some of my favorite spells to play. It's just the feeling of destroying your own deck that just makes me happy. And Delve and Dredge are just those two things. And
Yeah.
yeah, Dredge is known as one of those they're both known as one of those quote unquote historical broken mechanics
Hmm.
where whenever they try to make a Delve or Dredge card, it's usually quite powerful, like Murktide region right now in modern.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like
I think the mechanics that we're picking are very telling to what kind of decks we like to play, because you're looking at Convoke and Delve and Dredge, which is just like cheating out things and valuing things really high, and I'm just like things that hurt people.
I want to hurt you.
um, but I think my next good one that I like, which we'll kind of just keep going with that, like my next favorite is Double Strike. And to me, Double Strike is just something that's super powerful. It can turn just like a normal 2/2 creature into like something that can all of a sudden be lethal with certain abilities added onto it. Like this is the big thing, but like I had um in the cat deck, like if I can give one of my cats that have a big sword on them, or like the Sword of Feast and Famine, or whatever, something that's when it deals combat damage, it gets a trigger to get Double Strike on there. It's just so oppressive. It can like to be able to, I don't know, like Fire and Ice, do
Yeah, no.
two shocks and then draw two cards is insane. Or I had the blue white flyer deck that like every time it dealt combat damage, like the Sphinxes when they have Double Strike, whenever they deal combat damage, like you get to do something twice,
Yeah.
and they're usually fun and like interactive. But Double Strike to me is just super sweet. And then if you add the Death Touch onto it, then you're getting your first strike damage in first, so that way you don't even have to worry about getting hit on the back end. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. All right, I guess I go into one of my negatives. I don't like ninjutsu. Don't like it.
Agreed.
Everything like everything to do with it, like it's a cool concept. It's cool. It fits perfectly with like the ninjas and stuff like that. I have never had a good time playing ninjutsu. I've never had a fun time going against a ninjutsu deck. It's not my thing. Uh and every time I play it, I don't think I've ever had like I'm the kind of guy. The best way you could describe my play style in a lot of games is being a masochist. Give me that challenging stuff. Give me something stupid. Infect deck, let's go. Stacks, let's go. Board wipe tribal, I'm your man. Ninjutsu, it's just this thing where it's like, all right, I'm going to swing with us on block. You can't really do anything to block this thing. I'm in blue, so I'm gonna. And this is like those. This is that situation where it's like hyperbole, not the average, but it's like most of the times it's like I'm gonna. All right, I'm gonna go to kill this counter. All right, that's my one removal spell to try and get rid of this unblockable dude. You're gonna bounce it. Put out your commander, your Yuriko, your whatever, ninjutsu this thing in, and I'm gonna take a
Hmm.
buttload of damage, and I can't do anything to prevent it.
That's just
Like
it. It's Yuriko. Yuriko just makes the mechanic
like every
annoying.
but like it's not just Yuriko, it's like almost every ninjutsu thing. Because now we have like the Tetsu dude or whatever as well from
Hmm.
Kamigawa, and I've seen those two impaired where I've seen entire tables just blown up because of a Yuriko Tetsuo combo, and it's just like there's nothing you can do against this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's neat, it's cool in concept, but it's not like it's a bad mechanic at all. No, it's not like
It's
dice
not
rolling.
bad. It's just
No,
it's
it's
not
not
what
bad.
one you don't like.
No, I just don't like it. I've tried it, I've given it, I've tasted it. It's not like I'm hating this because I've lost against it. No. It's just I thought it'd be fun. I
Hmm.
love cheating out big stuff. You would think this is in my wheelhouse.
Hmm.
No. No, I've played Yuriko. I've played Tetsu. Nobody likes me. I tried to dump away stuff. I tried to dredge things away. I
Yeah. I tried the Yuriko deck too, and it just I don't know. It was
I
I
think
like
as
it straightforward. It's not straightforward enough for me.
as a CEDH deck, I'll play this thing all day though.
Yeah, it'd be cool in that.
I think it's
And
just
like in Legacy, like they have the Legacy
yeah.
one.
I
That's
think
fine, but
I think the ninjas are just too good, which that's not a bad thing. All right, Blake, give me the Mahonic.
Mahonic.
Mahonics.
Um, my last one that I dislike is Cascade.
Hey now hold yourself.
I know
There's been
you
time.
like Cascade, but I dislike Cascade. Um, Mainly because I've been burned by it, like
Right, that's you.
aggressively. Like
Right. It was one time. All
no, no,
right.
no, not. I'm not talking about you burning me with Cascade. Like I dislike the Sliver Cascade because it's kind of leading with those other ones where it's like it's just such a long process because it's just like, all right, I cascade and then I'm gonna cascade and then I'm gonna cascade and it's like I don't remember if I have a zero drop. Let me look through my entire deck and it's like, ugh. Okay, now you have an entire board state again, like after we just wiped it. But I was playing the Apex Devastator, the 10/10 that has Cascade, 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 Cascade,
Yeah.
and I hit the worst garbage I could hit off that. I hit like a Soul Ring and a Swiftfoot Boots and an Arcane Signet and then like another Mana Rock, and I was like, I hate this. Like I had it was the Yidris deck, uh
Yeah.
the four colored Cascade
S-
guy, and
Yeah.
because I missed so badly, I was like, and like the deck was built how it should. I think like I didn't have much to tutor to the top, but I had some big drops, and I was just like, I hate this. I hate it so much, and that deck got taken apart that night.
Ah, the old one and done.
Yep, exactly. It was just like, nope, that's not for me, and I mean was hard to do because there was kind of conflicting things going on with it where it's like I need to be able to do damage but I also need to be able to cast big spells, but it was kind of just like whatever. But god damn it, my cat is playing with a cord and you need to stop. um but I don't know, do you want to talk about why you like Cascade?
So I think it's just Cascade is just like one of those things, and I think it worked. The reason I like it is in that sliver deck because I can just keep going into things. Like you build like the Yidris deck, Cascade deck, you have to hit the cascading things to keep cascading. But the slivers thing just keeps going into like it just keeps going and going and going. It's like if you throw a slinky at a house of cards. Now this analogy might not make sense,
Doesn't.
But that slinky's gonna keep going, and it's gonna keep going until it stops. It's just yeah, that's just it. I think it works perfectly with slivers because slivers is one of those travel decks where they benefit from having other slivers, and you get board wiped constantly. But you just need that one to just keep it going. So
Yeah,
it just makes it. And I've balanced that deck to where it's like 90% of those cards are all from secret layers. It is
sure,
not optimized at all.
sure.
I pretty much only play like maybe there's 10, 15 cards that aren't secret layer cards besides the slivers themselves, but
Hmm.
it's pretty much just secret layer tribal at this point. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week. You
Yeah,
know,
that was a
a little bit,
longer one.
live a little bit longer one for two people, but uh, yes, we're gonna have links in the description for once for our Twitter. We have a Twitter, right?
I
Uh,
don't know. I don't do
Our
it.
Twitter, I want to put links to our Twitch. I'm going to be streaming, not quite Magic, mainly like League of Legends or Monster Hunter, whatever it is. My schedule is a bit wacky, so if you can join us, that'd be awesome. If not, it's all good. But definitely our Instagram, Blake's in charge of that. He posts on there whenever he can. Um,
I'm
uh,
behind, but I'll do it.
I'm a little camera shy. You know, my chiseled jawline, the world can't handle that.
Uh, anyway,
But
I
yeah,
think we're gonna end that there, and you guys
no, no,
all have a good rest of
no,
your
the world must know.
week,
We can't end it, Blake.
and we're
Blake,
gonna
let me
end
go on.
and goodbye.
Blake!